Lily's sobs ceased, and she lifted her head. There are bad girls in your slums. Tell me, do they ever pick themselves up, ever forget, and feel as they did before? Lily, you mustn't speak so. You're dreaming. Don't they always go from bad to worse? There's no turning back. Your old self rejects you and shuts you out. She rose, stretching her arms as if in utter weariness. Go to bed, dear. You work hard and get up early. I'll watch here by the fire, and you'll leave the light and your door open. All I want is to feel that you are near me. She laid both hands on Gertie's shoulders with a smile that was like sunrise on a sea strewn with wreckage. I can't leave you, Lily. Come and lie on my bed. Your hands are frozen. You must be made warm. Gertie paused. But Mrs. Peniston, it's past midnight. What will she think? She goes to bed. I have a latchkey. It doesn't matter. I can't go back there. There's no need to. You shall stay here. But you must tell me where you have been. Listen, Lily. It will help you to speak. She regained Miss Bart's hands. Try to tell me. You were dining at Carrie Fisher's. Gertie added with a flash of heroism, Lawrence Selden went from here to find you. At the word, Lily's face melted from locked anguish to the open misery of a child. He went to find me, and I missed him? Oh, Gertie, he tried to help me. He warned me long ago. He foresaw that I should grow hateful to myself. Lily sprang up. Gertie, you know him. You understand him. Tell me, if I told him everything, if I said, I am bad through and through, I want admiration, I want excitement, I want money. Yes, money. That's my shame, Gertie. And it's known, it's said of me, it's what men think of me. If I said it all to him, told him the whole story, said plainly, I've sunk lower than the lowest, for I've taken what they take and not paid as they pay. Oh, Gertie, you know him. You can speak for him. If I told him everything, would he loathe me, or would he pity me and understand me and save me from loathing myself? Gertie stood cold and passive. She knew the hour of her probation had come, and her poor heart beat wildly against its destiny. What prevented her from saying, he is like other men? She was not so sure of him after all, but to do so would have been like blaspheming her love. She could not put him before herself in any light but the noblest. Yes, I know him. He will help you, she said, and in a moment Lily's passion was weeping itself against her breast. There was but one bed in the little flat, and the two girls lay down. They lay still in the darkness, Gertie shrinking to the outer edge of the narrow couch to avoid contact with her bedfellow. Knowing that Lily disliked to be caressed, she had long ago learned to check her demonstrative impulses. But tonight, every fiber in her body shrank from Lily's nearness. It was a torture to listen to her breathing. As Lily turned and settled, a strand of her hair swept Gertie's cheek with its fragrance. Everything about her was warm and soft and scented. But as Gertie lay with arms drawn down her side in the motionless narrowness of an effigy, she felt a stir of sobs from the breathing warmth beside her, and Lily flung out her hand, groped for her friend's, and held it fast. Hold me, Gertie, hold me, or I shall think of things, she moaned, and Gertie silently slipped an arm under her, pillowing her head as a mother makes a nest for a tossing child. In the warm hollow, Lily lay still, and her breathing grew regular. Her hands still clung to Gertie's, but the hold of her fingers relaxed. Her head sank deeper into its shelter, and she slept.
The next morning, Lily calculates what she owes Trenner and approaches her aunt for help. But Mrs. Peniston has heard the rumors about Lily and refuses. In her room, Lily considers her options.
Suddenly, Lily's wild pacing brought her before the clock. Its hands stood at 3:30, and Selden was to come at 4. She had meant to put him off with a word, but now her heart leaped at the thought of seeing him. Was there not a promise of rescue in his love? As she had lain at Gertie's side the night before, she had thought of his coming and of the sweetness of weeping out her pain upon his breast. Of course, she had meant to clear herself of its consequences before she met him. She had never really doubted that Mrs. Peniston would come to her aid. And she had felt, even in the full storm of her misery, that Selden's love could not be her ultimate refuge. But now his love was her only hope, and as she sat alone with her wretchedness, she thought of confiding in him. The thought of confiding in him became as seductive as the river's flow to the suicide. She remembered the first plunge would be terrible, but afterward, what blessedness. She remembered Gertie's words, "I know him, he will help you." Oh, if he really understood, if he would help her gather up her broken life and put it together in some new semblance in which no trace of the past should remain. He had always made her feel that she was worthy of better things, and she had never been in greater need of such solace. 4 o'clock found her in the drawing room. She was sure that Selden would be punctual, but the hour came and passed, and Selden did not come. Doubtless he had been detained or had misread her hurriedly scrawled note, taking the 4 for a 5. The ringing of the doorbell a few minutes after 5 confirmed this. The sound of steps in the hall and the butler's voice poured fresh energy into her veins, and the remembrance of her power over Selden flushed her with sudden confidence. But when the drawing room door opened, it was Rosedale who came in. The reaction caused her a sharp pang, but she greeted Rosedale amicably. It was annoying that Selden, when he came, should find that particular visitor, but Lily was mistress of the art of ridding herself of superfluous company, and Rosedale seemed distinctly negligible. She caught at the bride's entertainment as an easy, impersonal subject, likely to tide them over till Selden appeared. But Mr. Rosedale, tenaciously planted beside the tea table, his hands in his pockets, his legs a little too freely extended, gave the topic a personal turn.